All right. So it is almost the end of 2025, and all year I have been listening to songs that reached number 25 in the charts because, well, I'm a geek. What can I say? I'm very pleased to be joined by Tim Derling again today to finish up the series with a random look at a dozen of the songs that I have left over from my own collection. So, welcome, Tim. Great to have you on board as always.
It's great to be back. I love this concept. This sounds like something I would think of. So you can take that as a compliment because
Oh,
I
I
love
do.
charts and chart positions and all of that stuff.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I thought of you for this is because in our previous chats, I noticed, and just on your channel, of course, as well, which is Tim's Final Confessions for those who don't know, um, I always thought a fellow chart enthusiast is the term I will use on this occasion. So, yeah, I mean, I have, as I said, gone through a fair number of these, both US and UK number 25s. But today we're just looking at US ones. And for me, I don't know what it is, but whenever I think of charts, Billboard still holds true as the chart that counts as far as anything goes. Um, I did do another episode of this, which looked at a chunk of UK 25s, and it's quite stark the difference between them because those all were really, it seemed like those were hits that were not hits at all in most cases. They were like charted for 4 or 6 weeks, sort of songs that don't go beyond the fan base of the artist and cross over
Exactly.
into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mainstream.
I've noticed too, the only time that you get a song that charts in the 20s or 30s, yeah, it may have been a top 40 single, but unless it's a case where it's a really popular rock song that did very well, say on the mainstream rock chart, maybe was a tad heavy for mainstream or for top 40 radio, you might have a fairly popular song with a low pop charting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a couple of songs on here that I think people who aren't as chart geeky as us might go, oh, wow, I would have thought that was a much bigger hit. But for the most part, we are dealing with those kind of mid-range singles. And Tim has basically no idea what's on my list of 12 songs. Um, so we're going to play some games with him, and you can join in at home trying to spot what the songs are uh, from very brief intros. And then we will be using the random four-play format, so selecting four of those songs to listen to in full and discuss, etc. So, uh, any questions before we kick off?
No, I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping I don't make a fool of myself, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see if I can pick these out.
All right. So, um, basically, we've got a range of stuff here. There's singer-songwriter stuff. There's some soft rock. There's some hard rock, and we're covering in the main 66 to 1990 is where the bulk of these come from. And then there's one kind of wild card, which I'll mention when we get to it. Um, that's one I really don't think you'll get, but you might surprise me. So we're going to kick off with the first three. As I say, I'm going to give the intros for each, see what Tim can identify, and then once he knows what the three songs are, he'll choose one of them for us to have a listen to, and it could be one you know and love, or one you're curious about, or one you hate but want to inflict on the rest of the world, or whatever. Really, no wrong answers. By the way, for those who are watching, I will have by this point had a scroll on the screen so that you know at least the artists that might come up. So you're behind me, but ahead of Tim at this point in time as to what might happen. So, without further ado, let's kick off with your first mini intro and see what we get. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Anything from that?
I mean, it
If we
sounds
know the band.
familiar. Yeah, it sounds familiar. It sounds late 80s to me, maybe early 90s. Um, boy, it's boy, I don't think it's anything out of my collection per se, but it's in the ballpark of stuff that I would listen to, and that's what's giving me the issue here.
Well, I
And
can
I
give you
think
a couple of
I,
clues if
I
you
think
want.
it's one of those songs okay, sure, a couple of clues. Let me see what I can do with that.
Well, this one actually did slightly better in your native Canada. It reached number 18 there, but it's the final top 40 hit for this band in either country. Um,
Okay, I think I for some reason, I think I know what it is. Is
I'll let you.
is this Love at First Sight by Styx?
It is top of
Wow.
the class. There we
Yeah,
are.
that I don't know why, but that did it. That you
Well,
said it was their last. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Haven't heard
all
that
right.
probably since it was out.
Okay, so that's option one. Next up is something very different. So let's see what you make of this one. Yeah, that's like 7 seconds of a song, but
This is gonna
again,
this is gonna be harder than I thought. Well, it sounds very the first thing that comes to mind is John Mellencamp, although I don't think that's John Mellencamp, but it does sound kind of like that Americana, either Mellencamp or Tom Petty or
well, if I take you back to John Mellencamp, all I can say there is that you've got the initials right.
okay, so uh wow. JM. Um
Um, and this was actually a top 10 hit in Canada. Just there's quite a few here that reached number 10 in various places for odd reasons.
oh, this yeah, I'm gonna eat my words here. I thought I would do really good at this, but I can tell right now I'm not going to. It's just so I've got the little bit of guitar and harmonica in my head, but um JM, why all my mind is just a complete total blank.
No worries. Well,
I'm afraid I don't
if
know
I
this.
if I tell you the song, you'll probably kick yourself because I
How
mean
much of
it's
it
probably not.
I wonder how much of it you'd have to play for me to
Yeah, I
latch
don't
on.
know. I think it's one of those songs that you'll when I say the title, you'll know it, but whether you particularly know the song or just the title might be a different thing. But it is "You Turn Me On." I'm a radio.
Oh, Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
I should know a
So
Canadian when I hear one.
you've you
And I had the
did
time period totally wrong too, because
well. There you go. She
I'm
was ahead
thinking
of the
this is
time.
yeah, I'm thinking this is early 70s. That sounded early 90s to me, but maybe I okay. Wow. Yeah, no, I certainly know the title, but yeah, it's not really my wheelhouse. But I mean, yeah, I mean, certainly Joni Mitchell's a legend, right? Big Yellow
But
Taxi, This Flight Tonight.
yeah, but it just shows you. And I'm sure I'd be the same if I didn't have the list of songs in front of me. If I just heard that without any context and be like, oh, it sounds sort of familiar, but I'm not sure that I could, even as a Joni fan, pick that out straight away. So, but we'll go for
Ah,
the third attempt. And
okay.
this one, I think you'll, well, I'm not going to make any predictions anymore. Let's see how we do. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That is definitely Alice Cooper, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Right. Now we're
Yeah.
back at the top of the class where we expected you to
Yeah.
be. So, having identified that one, um, which of those three do you fancy having to listen to?
Oh, I think we should listen to Mr. Cooper. Mr. Fernier,
Fair
if you
enough.
like.
Absolutely. So this is another one that reached number 10, but in this case in the UK, oddly enough, obviously from the Billion Dollar Babies album in '73. So just 1 year out from the Joni Mitchell tune. Um, yeah, let's hear it in full. Here is Alice Cooper, No More Mr. Nice Guy. All right. So, I mean, I think I can, given that batch of three, I'm not surprised that that was the one that you could pick out of a lineup, so to speak. But
Well,
what's
yeah.
your history with Alice?
I'm a big Alice Cooper fan. I mean, seen him a couple times in concert. And there's a Canadian connection there too, because Bob Ezrin produced those classic Cooper band albums and has continued to work with him off and on to this very day. As a matter of fact, the latest one, The Revenge of Alice Cooper, you've got the original band, the surviving members, and Bob
Yes.
Ezrin reuniting. Yeah, just a big fan. I mean, and hugely influential. I mean, that big production of Bob Ezrin's, I can hear where even bands like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard would have gotten that full sound from, because that's pretty good, pretty full range spectrum production for 1973.
Yeah,
Everything's
definitely. And
clear in its
that's,
place, and Dennis Dunaway is one of the most overlooked bass players in classic rock. I mean, he's a genius bass player, and nobody ever talks about him.
I mean, Alice is for me, I've seen him live a couple of times as well. And I don't really, he's one of those artists that I always enjoy, but I never really listen to his albums an awful lot. But when it's live, it's just another level, I think. I mean, he's got theatricality about him, of course, but yeah, the classic early 70s hard rock. I mean, it's one of those songs that has endured throughout the years more than the chart position would indicate, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those songs that if anybody likes classic rock, all you have to do is, I mean, it's a saying, right? It's a say no more
Yeah,
Mr. Nice Guy, and I know they didn't invent it, but it automatically conjures that song up when I hear it.
well, exactly. And I mean, I get that he wrote it when his mother's church friends were quite shocked at the things that he was
Well, yeah,
getting up to,
it's
and he was
actually,
like, could be worse.
the lyrics are actually true to life. I mean, his parents had a hard time, like your son is Alice Cooper. That's terrible. And yeah, yeah, quite humorous too. He works in a little bit of that Alice
Yeah,
humor in the lyrics there.
excellent. Well, good first choice. Second choice is going to be mine, but I'm going to force you through round two of guessing the intro, seeing how we
Yeah,
do.
sure. No,
Um,
this is good brain. This is a good brain test.
all right. So first up, we've got this.
Between the darkness on the street and the houses filling up with light.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that's a song I thought was a bigger song. That is Jackson Browne, "Tender as the Night." If it's from
Spot
the
on.
'80s, I've got a pretty good chance.
Well, yeah, we've got pretty much 50% of this list, well, if you count the Styx tune as well,
Yeah.
is 80s. So yeah, so that's option one for me. Option two is well, if you don't get this one, I'll be shocked. Let's put it that way. Do you need more than
Same.
3 seconds?
No, no, that's plenty. That would be Scorpions Rock You Like a Hurricane. Yeah, there's a good example of a song that was pretty heavy for top 40 airwaves and did well to get to number 25 on the pop chart. That just shows you that 1984 was, I think, a real big year for commercial hard rock, making inroads to becoming the most popular music for a time.
Yeah, um, that's I think one of those ones that non-chart fans would just think, "Oh, that's a huge song. Surely that must have done
Yeah,
better." But when you've got that extra knowledge about how rock crossed over or didn't, then we kind of know that yeah, that was actually pretty good for a song of that type in those days.
yeah.
And for my third and final choice, here's another one I'm really sure you'll get. Um, but let's see, it's very different from the two that we've just heard. So it goes like this.
Yeah, it's funny. I was like, is that what I think it is? But yes, yeah, it's
You got that little blip of
uh,
the harmonica, which
yeah,
is a giveaway,
yeah. I
probably.
thought it was Piano Man, Billy Joel, anyway, because I know it starts off with that little piano flourish, but it reminds me of a joke that I read online. It said, for Piano Man, for a song about a piano player, the guy playing the harmonica won't shut up.
Yeah. There's
That's crazy that song only hit 25 because that is one
well,
of those
yeah,
songs that, yeah, I mean, like my kids know that song. It's just part of pop
and
culture.
that's another song that I don't know if you know this about him, but it was a top 10 hit in Canada, surprisingly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in fact, all of his 70 singles did better in Canada than they did in the States. I mean, to some only a little bit, but to some quite a bit. But it is one of those songs because it never charted in the UK, but I mean, he encores it in massive stadium here, and everybody's singing along. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the sort of thing that if he hadn't become the superstar that he did later, then it's probably one of those songs that might have fallen by the wayside. But because
Right.
of who
But
he became, it sort of
yeah,
was a signature song in
he
retrospect.
became the Piano Man, right? I mean, it became a, and you're right. It's a very early song for him, and the fact that he became such a big star afterwards. That song just became part of his repertoire.
Yeah. Um, I mean, Billy was actually the first act I ever saw live, and that was in 1987, when Piano Man wasn't the encore. It was, you know, pretty early on in the set. It was kind of like one of those songs he had to play, but he kind of wanted to get it out of the way. That's kind of how it felt in those days. But it's become the ubiquitous end of the main set. I mean, well, I don't know if he's going to tour again at all now, but until recently, that had been the case. Oh, right. But as the format goes, I've got to choose one of these three, and longtime fans of this channel will know that I'm well. I just said I saw Billy Joel when I was 7 years old, so that tells you I've been a pretty much lifelong fan. I actually won a talent contest playing a medley of Piano Man and the Pink Panther when I was 12, but surprisingly, I'm not actually that big a fan of that song. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to rewind this and keep us in hard rock mode because I'm just in that mood. I suspect as well that based on what's left, this is the hard rock side of things out of the way. So let's go to the Scorpions and do Rock You Like a Hurricane, because it was the 40th anniversary of Love at First Sting last year, and I did get to see them doing the whole Love at First Sting album, which was pretty darn good even at their age. So here we go. Oh, and I'm remiss, as usual, I always forget this until the second song, but most likely the music will be out of the main video, but the songs will be included in full in another video, which will be linked in the description. So for those wanting to hear along with us, that will be the place to go. And if you're there now, then you'll be hearing this now, which is Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane. All right. You've just been rocked like a hurricane. How are you feeling?
Oh, good. Sufficiently rocked. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, for me, just because of my age, the first exposure I had to the Scorpions was Wind of Change, which is obviously a quite different song from that. And this one came in much later. In fact, I really didn't pay much attention to them until probably it must have been 2015, I think, because they were on a bill at a festival, and I just thought, oh, I know a couple of their songs. I'll pop along and see what they've got to offer for a few songs before heading on to somewhere else. And they hooked me in from the first, and I was there for the rest of their set. So a belated fan, but yeah. How about you? Are you a fan, or is it just one of those songs that you couldn't
I've
escape
never been.
engagement?
I've never been a fan. I like that. I mean, that's a great song. There's no denying that. I like a few of their songs. No One Like You, The Zoo. The usual ones. Just never been a full on fan. But I always say you can't like everything, or you can't get into everything, or else you'd be completely
No.
broke. But yeah, I mean,
Well,
they've
there's not the
been
time of day to hear everything either.
yeah,
So
and that would definitely be the first song I heard from the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane. I don't even know if I heard the first or all of it. I think that there was, yeah, now that I think about it, there was an advertisement because there was a various artists album called White Hot. And it
mm,
was, they advertised it as all these metal bands. Well, they weren't strictly metal bands, they were commercial hard rock bands. But I remember that being one of the main songs they used in the commercial for that album.
nice. And again, I see that this one only made it to 78 in the UK. But again, it's a song that has transcended its chart position. It's one of
And
those.
I was looking too while it was playing, and it only hit 30, I think 37 in Canada, which I was surprised. I thought there was a chance maybe it might have charted higher because sometimes that did happen. But, I talked about this a lot on a lot of my shows during 2024 because we did a lot of looking back at 1984. I still think 1984 is one of the greatest years in music for all genres, and there was so much music out there. Some songs just got jammed in the charts and they just couldn't get any higher. It
Mm,
it didn't really it didn't really speak about the popularity because I'll bet you that there were songs that charted much higher than 25 than the Scorpions did that most people wouldn't know today, but they'll know
oh
Rock You
yeah,
Like a Hurricane from that opening as soon as the riff starts.
yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, you've got your charts in real time, but then there's the belated chart, which is how
You
well
know,
things are remembered all these years
you're
later.
absolutely there's the charts in real time, and then there's the test of time, right?
Yeah,
How it holds up
and
over the years.
these days you've got the Spotify rankings, and sometimes you look at artists who had tons of hits, and it's really interesting to see which ones are still being played
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that form. So
yeah,
um, pretty unpredictable stuff. Popular music, as it turns out.
yeah.
um, and speaking of predictions, I don't know if you can predict what's going to come up for you, but the next three will be again Tim playing the intros game and then picking one of these for us to hear in full. So let's see how you go on this one. I can give you a heads up that it is from the 80s, but um, I really don't know if you'll know it, but we'll find out. Here it is. Probably don't need more than that
Wow.
if you're going to get it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's familiar
Blast from
sounding.
the past, in a way.
Yeah. Uh, at first listen, no, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, it's from a pretty big movie from 1982, starring Dustin Hoffman. Tootsie.
Okay, okay. Boy, the rest of the song, what I'm thinking of doesn't sound like it gets from there to there. But is it Stephen Bishop? It might be you.
That is it. Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't have gotten that from that intro because all I can remember is the chorus, and it doesn't even sound like it's the same tempo. But I do know that song was from Tootsie.
I know what you mean when you say that. Actually, it's not as if it's a a rocking intro, but yeah,
A
it
riff
does
rocker, yeah.
slow down even further as we go on. So that's
Yeah.
I would say that's the softest song on this list. Um, Next up, uh, something completely different. Here we go.
I know I recognize that. I definitely recognize that. Okay. Is that a Stones song?
No, no.
No. Then I don't recognize it.
Well, I think again the Canadian in you probably does recognize it for that reason alone.
Okay,
So
well,
this
okay.
is
Let me withdraw that then. Is it the band
yeah.
up on Cripple Creek?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay,
See, sometimes you
okay.
just need a prod in the right direction, and your
There
brain
is
will
a
connect the
Stones,
dots.
there is a Rolling Stones song that starts out with that sort of that same sort of snare. I just can't think of which one it is. It's an early 70s one, but
Yeah, I've got a couple of songs that you know them, but the first second sounds very similar. Like
yeah.
there's a Spencer Davis Group song. I can never remember which one it is. It might be "Keep on Running." Every time I hear the first second of that, I think, "Oh, it's 25 or 64 by Chicago." But no,
Oh
no, wait,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, I hear what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one last one for you. Again, well, we will see how you do.
Oh
Anything from
boy.
saying that?
I I I know this and I want to say that it hasn't been that long since I was listening to the radio and heard this song,
Oh well.
but I don't think I knew what it was then, and I think I had to listen to the entire song, and I'm like, I just don't know what this is. So, um, unless it's a totally different song, of course, there is that possibility.
Well, it could
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
No,
I've
I've been striking out on this. No, I don't know what that is.
well, I'd be slightly surprised if you heard this one on the radio because it's well, a very well-known duo. Um, but they had so many much bigger hits that
Oh, so
this
Is
one's
it
kind
Simon
of
and Garfunkel?
yeah
Yeah, that I'm not going to know the song though. It's just
song. So it is to put you out of your misery. The Dangling Conversation.
okay. I recognize the
Yeah.
title. Yeah.
So that was yeah, kind of after they became big, that was their first single to kind of underperform, I guess, because they had in a row Sound of Silence, Siam a Rock, and Homeward Bound all top five, bang bang
Yeah.
bang, and then this one stuck at 25, obviously. So yeah, on that basis, so three songs you're probably not super familiar with, or indeed a fan of, actually. But which one of them do you feel
Well,
inclined to try out before?
Let's hear the Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, okay, good choice. I think yeah, this is one. It's well, the reason I know is because it's a favourite of my mum's from way back when, um, and it varies as to what they thought of it. I think Paul probably did like it, and then Garfunkel said that he'd never liked it and thought it was quite pretentious. After which Paul kind of said, "Yeah, it's a little bit precious, a little bit arty." Um, so let's see what we think of it. All these years later, this is from 1966, and it is The Dangling Conversation. All right. Well,
I mean, you can definitely tell, who it is, but you can also, it doesn't have that immediate appeal.
yeah, I think it's not really the sort of song to be a mass appeal to your preteen girl audience of the mid '60s, who was the singles buyers at the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's gorgeous, and it's one of those songs I've known from such a young age. It's probably one of the ones that's taught me words like syncopated.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I love the little trick they do of their voices overlapping and getting out of time on that bit as well. It's
Yeah.
the first time really they had more time in the studio and was starting, not quite to the degree that the Beatles did around the same time, but they made the studio their instrument and spent a lot more time in the studio than most bands of that era.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the results still stack up pretty well almost 60 years later. So nice one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to lie. Of the three that remain that I'll be choosing a song from, I'm going to say that there are two that you have no chance of getting, and one that you have a fair chance of getting just because it's from that right time frame. So we'll see if my predictions are right, and see what you make of what we have left. So first up is this. That's one that I'm guessing is meaningless to
That's
you.
very fanfare of some sort. Sounds late 60s to me, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, I'd have been shocked if you did really, but that's Gene Pitney and Backstage.
Okay.
That was close to, I think he had one more US top 40 hit after that. This is 1966 again. Um, but he was in a reign where one of those oddities of the charts, a US singer who was much more successful in the UK. So this was number 4 in the UK, and he had another 10 or 11 top 40 hits there, or here as I am now. I sometimes get
Yeah.
confused as to, because, I wasn't here in the 60s when it was happening, but I am here now. Yeah, and again, another favourite of my mum. So it's been one of those songs that I've known for a long time. On the other extreme, we've got this one.
I'm remembering, I promise to forget you now.
That sounds familiar. It sounds quite a bit more modern. Boy, sounds like something I would have heard when I was working retail a lot.
No, it's a lot more modern. Let's put it that way.
I'll never think of. It could be one where I never did know exactly who or what it was.
Yeah, well, we're talking only 2023 here. This is Noah Kahan, and if you know any women under 25, then they will love him. I can attest to that because whenever I see him, which I've seen him 3 or 4 times now, I'm almost the oldest there, and definitely one of the most malest.
Yeah. I know the name. I recognize the name. That's about it. I guess it's. I
Yeah,
was thinking it was more early 2000s, but I just obviously it's not something
yeah.
I'm
Well,
familiar with.
this is the thing. I mean, I know you're like me in that you are not one of those people who believe that there's been no good music made since 1994. But what I think surprises even me is that sometimes there's music that actually makes the charts that I like still. It doesn't happen
Yeah,
often, but
doesn't
occasionally
happen.
it will.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the most recent example of that happening in the US, at least. Well, at number 25 anyway. And finally, this is the last song that you have to endure my torture of intro testing. So let's see how you do. This is a safer ground for you, I would say. But let's see. Here it is.
yeah. I know exactly what that is. That is John Waite, Every Step of the Way. Great
It
song
is.
that should have done better than it did.
Yeah.
As soon as the da-da-do, I knew what it was.
Excellent. And John Waite has, I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but he's got one of the quirks of chart feats that is not anything that anybody would want to claim, but he does things in threes. He's had 3 top 40 hits with the Babies,
Yeah,
then 3 solo, and then 3
three with
bad
bad
English.
English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I mean, he's been the voice behind very popular songs, but he never had a run of singles on his own
Yeah,
like he probably should have had. You know, he's kind of like Paul Carrack. You know, Ace, Squeeze, and Mike and the Mechanics, and the occasional solo hit. Same kind of thing.
yeah. He just pops up every now and again for a couple of years and then disappears again.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's my choice of those 3, and I figure we've been all over the place, really, haven't we? We've been 70s, we've been 80s, we've been 60s. So let's bring ourselves bang up to date and go 2020s with Dial Drunk from Noah Kahan. And see, it would be interesting to see if, when I play the full thing, if you have actually heard this or not. This one, I think, oh, what did it do in Canada? It did something, I'm sure. Number 10, there we are. Yeah,
Oh
number
wow.
10 in Canada. So yeah, popular there. 25 in the US, obviously, and 32, I want to say, in the UK. This was ahead of Styx season, which is what really blew him up and was number 1 for months over here. So it's still in the charts 2 years later. Anyway, yeah, let's hear it. Dial Drunk. Here we go.
I'm remembering, I promised to forget you now. I dial drunk, I die for you.
Right, there we are. 2023 top 40 hits on this channel. Who would have thunk it?
You know what? Honestly, what I'm going to have to do is ask my wife if I know the song or not. She'll be able to tell you if she's played it because she's always playing a variety of different things. Yeah, I don't. It didn't ring a bell, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, if I was limiting to having heard it out and about, then I'd be unsure of it as well, I'm sure, because I mean, I still check out the charts week to week and mostly just scan through and say, yeah, I don't know any of those. But occasionally there'll just be a thing that's interesting to see that in there or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Noah for me is someone that I saw go from support act to arena headliner in the space of not even a year. I don't think it was just crazy how he just seemed to be everywhere overnight all of a sudden. So I'd be interesting to see what he does next. I mean, because that album was really 2022. Was kind of a slow build, but it's quite a long gap between albums.
Yeah.
At this stage of a career, so the next one's going to be one of those vital to someone's long-term career path, I suspect. So
yeah, probably whether it stays on that course or whether the opposite happens.
Yeah, and to be fair, having my endorsement has not worked out for most people in the past when it comes to long-term careers. So
I have a terrible track record of getting into a group and then they break up. It's happened a few times. So
yeah, I mean,
whatever the opposite of the Midas touch is, I seem to have it.
we can't blame ourselves because these are natural things in this
Right.
business anyway.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Well, that was a fun troll clearing out some of these songs. For the most part, the individual songs I've done this year I've tried to do ones that I don't own just to hear some different things on the channel. I'm probably not going to do the same next year with the 26s, of which there are plenty, but I might do a similar show to this or two along the way. So anyone's welcome to join me for that. If you'd be back for another round, you'd be very welcome. But before we consider a whole nother year, I, on these sorts of things, always like to ask if there was one song on this list that's maybe caught your ear or that you are a fan of that we didn't get to hear. Is there one that you'd nominate, or you can say no as well?
I would go with the John Waite song. I think that's a really good song, and that's I really started listening to top 40 radio in 1985. So a lot of songs that weren't even big chart songs, if they hit the top 40, I would have heard them.
Yeah, and that's another one like we talked about earlier, and with Rush when we did Power Windows, same year, obviously.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
that was number 4 on the mainstream rock charts.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, he hit number 6 on the mainstream rock charts with These Times Are Hard for Lovers, which I'm shocked wasn't top 40.
Yeah, that was like 53, I think. It didn't even hit the top 40. Yeah, he had a very short run as a solo artist, which is he was such a great singer, but yeah, maybe he just wasn't putting out the right songs at the right time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I still, whenever I hear, well, I do those songs, I think, how wasn't this a bigger hit? But yeah, I guess, he didn't want to go down the, well, Missing You was so huge and I can only do ballads now. But then I guess when you get to the Bad English, that's kind of what they did for the singles as well there. So
yeah,
what are you going to do? Have a career and have hits, or disappear sooner than you should?
Yeah,
not a choice I've had to make, thankfully. But for me, the ones that we didn't get to, and it's a really wussy song, but I love the Stephen Bishop tune, which I say I love it. Now my mind is saying, what the hell is that called? It might be you.
It might be you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Tender as the Night is a good song too. That's one that you don't hear that much of.
Yeah. I'm a big Jackson Browne fan, although I don't know, Tender. Yeah, it's one of those songs that is mid-tier Jackson for me, which is pretty high for other people, but it's not one of his that leaps out. But yeah, it is a good one as well. But yeah, I mean, when you're selecting songs based solely on their chart position, it's it's not the same as what we've done in the past of looking at songs from an album.
But it does force you to sharpen your mind a little bit more.
Yeah, well, neither of our minds were super sharp, but I think on the whole,
mine was pretty blunt tonight.
I mean, I had the list in front of me, and I was still going, "What's that song called?" Yeah, I think you actually did pretty well there, and certainly when it came to the songs from, let's say, your specialist era of the '80s, when you were, whether they were songs that you were choosing to listen to or not, the ones that were some level of familiar to you, you managed to pull out of the hat one way or another. So I think you definitely get a pass.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it was fun either way.
It was definitely fun. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, for anyone who does want to check out all the other 25s that I've looked at on the channel over the years, there will be a handy playlist in the description and possibly floating around right about now, actually. So check that out. And I will say thanks again to Tim for joining me for this, and thanks to you for watching, and bye for now, but not for long.
It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for.